Welcome to Tune In Tuesday, where every Tuesday I start a new canvas for my upcoming series, Overtone, Shattering Silence. This week I'm starting piece number 7 using the color violet, and I also mixed a few other colors such as lavender, lilac, and mauve. You can find how I mix those and their healing properties in my Mix It Up Monday video in the description box below. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing to follow me on this journey. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and ring the bell for a notification. I'm just going to start right out the gate using the colors that I mix. I normally have to mix a little bit more in this, so you'll see me add later layers. As I've mentioned in a few other videos, I use watercolors, so as soon as I add water to it, it'll reactivate it, creating its own flow. Tune In Tuesday is about me just sharing my insight and my healing journey using this color. As a color practitioner, I've definitely had to do a lot of self-work using the colors. It's something I inherently have seen and felt since I was little, and I decided to take my studies a little deeper, and today here I am as an artist and helping others and myself understand how they affect us in our day-to-day lives. Tuesdays are more about me just painting, as I said, so every now and then I'll chime in a thought, or maybe I see a scene in my head, and I'll just kind of share that sporadically while I'm painting. One thing before I go too far, I wanted to share that I had noted here in one of my books when I was using these colors was, to the beginning of the end, same journey, different resources, new experiences, and a life of gratitude ahead. Of course, still nervous, but filling it with love and confidence. And as I mentioned in my indigo video, I gave an analogy about the woods and how I can enter the same woods every day, but because of the season changing, I can learn something new by my surroundings, and also depending on who you invite to the woods with you, they can change your perspective of something that you felt like you see every day. And I feel like that analogy connects to this little message that I also wrote to myself. These are such springy colors. When I was picking the order, I didn't realize that I was going to pick the Chakra order. But it makes sense to be part of the journey. You know, you start grounded and you bring yourself up and then to your surroundings, and we get to work together through it. And I like that these spring colors are right in time with spring outside. Looks so beautiful. I'm going to mix just a little bit more, because I just already know that I'm going to use it. And previous canvas before I started this series, violet, gold, and yellow were always colors I just kind of leaned on. I felt really comfortable with them. I started to move into some maroon colors there for a while as well. And I love all the colors, but there was just a pattern that I saw within myself that I would be in the paint store and I'd have 4 different types of purples and yellows, and each gold shimmers a different way, and I wanted them all, and I wanted to use them all to share with people because I felt like they were really strong, passionate colors to share with, and thinking about your confidence to your crown, and the language that these colors share. I understand why, and the color spectrum aspect. This kind of reminds me of a hip, like our pelvis. The other day I had a conflict that I haven't had in a really long time, and it was just someone thinking that things should just go however they want because they pay for it, and since they pay for it, that should be enough for them to get what they want. And I found myself where I was to be the person to resolve the conflict. And the way that this lady spoke, I really was thankful that I had done some of the self-work that I had. As I said, it's been a long time since I had to be in a place where I had to immediately have an answer. I had to communicate with this person in a conflict without being more of a problem, and to have a resolution on the spot. Which is great, but to not have to be in that position, or a lot of times I get more time to kind of think about what I want to say. And in this moment I didn't, but I did. I took my time. I heard her out. I repeated back to her what she said to me to make sure I heard her clearly. And then I found this, just despite how she was speaking to me and about the people around me, I still honed into this space that I felt like was just like this universal understanding of just that this isn't okay, and this isn't how you're going to speak. And if it is going to be how you speak, then you're not looking for resolution, and there's not. And the only thing I can do is kind of send you with my love and hope that that's enough. that creates enough of a balance in the universe that you get, that the woman gets it, and that that I don't have to deal or tolerate it with it later, that I actually got to say what I need to say, and that there was nothing more that I need to say outside of that. And I'm bringing that up because I felt like I had to really meet in this like spiritual place, because here, like on a certain realm, she I don't want to say she wasn't here, but she didn't care to recognize what here could mean to her from my point of view. And I felt like I had to like meet her up there and kind of bring her down here. And it's still, she didn't leave satisfied, but I knew that I did the best that I could in that moment. And sometimes when you're in a situation, you walk away and you're like, man, I wish I would have said that, or I wish things would have gone that way. Or there are a lot of times I find myself in those situations, and just where I would have felt more centered within myself to feel comfortable to say exactly what I wanted to say in the moment, and not to feel bad for it, and to be tasteful about it. And I feel like I did that. It was really self-rewarding. Yeah, so being very vague in how I'm describing the situation, in the long run, I felt like I had truly connected my mind, body, and soul in a moment that it could have really gotten out of hand. and I was able to resolve it, maybe not in the manner that she wanted it to be resolved, but it got resolved in the manner that nothing moved past that moment. And in the regards that there was nothing more that I could do for the lady, and in the regards that I didn't come home beating myself up over a situation or wishing I would have done something differently. I felt like I really heard myself, and I did what I could to the best of my ability, which is not something I typically feel like I do when I feel under pressure and needing to have answers for people right in the moment. Now, I did turn beet red, and I did end up with a little shake afterwards because it was a little high energy, but I was still able to take a breath and it not affect the rest of my day, which is a really big thing for me, for moments like that to not affect the rest of my day. I haven't talked as much. I know I talked more in the beginning, but I think that's why I end up using the color purple a lot, maybe, is that it really just takes me to this meditative place, and it's not like I'm completely daydreaming in my head. I feel very present, that I am really here watching everything that's happening. So I'm my own observer, and there's not a lot of outside chatter that I feel like's happening, or as much daydreaming as some of the other colors make me a little more dreamy. Not to say it's not happening here. It definitely, off the point, I felt like I saw, the pelvis, the hips, which kind of gave me this very like playful, motherly type of vibe. And then it kind of reminded me of just being grounded, and which led me to the other day and the situation I had and the challenge that I had to overcome, and the connection I knew that I had within myself to be able to resolve it, instead of walking away and not feeling like I could resolve it, or walking away wishing I would have done something better. And it's kind of right now just about that simple for me with this color. And I've worked with the color long enough, and it's helped me ground off enough. There are many situations that I've been through, and a lot of times I've turned to this color, and it's usually when I just need to take that breath for myself, and I need to breathe and to be okay with exhaling. And even if I didn't do it how I wanted to let that go, and to not hold on to that, and to learn from that, and to write out, if it's lingering, to write it out, and how and what I've done better. And I think I've done that so much, and so for that situation to happen, because it's a very out of my rhythm moment that I had. I was doing something that I haven't been doing in a while. I was in a social setting that I haven't been in a while. So there were a lot of old variables there to offer me a new moment and a new situation. And I kind of said that to Indigo. And as I mentioned before, the softer tones of the purple, it's almost like a magnet to your third eye. And so for me to have analogies that are very close to the indigo color that I used last week makes sense to me, and I'm not trying to be redundant with those. And if you want to check those out, I said previously that those will be in the description box below. And that's just kind of where I'm at. So So I guess that's just what I have to share right now in that moment, and that I really am just embracing this moment right now and just kind of really reflecting on what I did and how I handled it. And really, it's not even lingering there. It was just something to share. I'm really just kind of enjoying the textures and the shapes that I'm getting here, and allowing my heart to just feel full with that, and to be okay with that. Yeah, to be okay with that. Because I feel like I created, and in a sense I'm okay with it, but I created an expectation where I want to talk every Tuesday about my journey and my life. And sometimes silence, and I've said this a lot, silence speaks louder than words. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now. It's just okay with holding the space of silence and really feeling like I'm in my groove. There are more colors, and I will have more conversations. That's what I keep telling myself in my head. Alright, so I am going to let this dry. If you ring the bell, you'll get the notification of Finish It Friday, where I do a time lapse starting from Monday, this moment now, and during the rest of my time during the week in the studio working with this canvas. And I post that on Friday, and it's called Finish It Friday. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I give away a color study. It's these circles that you see here above my head. They're 8-inch round color studies that I do of each canvas that I'm working on. So I'll make some during the rest of this week of the color violet. And if you follow me on my Instagram story and comment or ask questions or partake in the poll, that enters you into the giveaway. So I take all of those names and people that have participated, and I put them, well, here's last week's, I put them inside this little container here, and I pick out a random name. So each week is a new week, and so I'll take these out and I'll add the new names in here. So if you've entered before, or if you've won before, you can re-enter again. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to continue following me on this journey, consider subscribing to my channel. I appreciate you being here. See you Friday.